you by new Stop It, America's leading spray deodorant. Now with its anti-immunity factor. Poof! There goes perspiration. Now let's all play What's My Line?
Now let's meet the panel of What's My Line, which this week was announced as the favorite TV quiz show selected by the readers of Radio TV Mirror. First, the popular columnist, whose articles appear every month in Screen Guide magazine, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
And on my left, a young gentleman who stars in his own television show every evening on another network, Mr. Steve Allen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And on my left, one of the lovely ladies of radio and television who is seen also on another network. Same one, as a matter of fact, with her own daily afternoon program, is Arlene Francis.
Good morning, Steve. You don't watch.
Well, I get up late.
And on my left, a gentleman whose publications at Random House include the very superior American College Desk Dictionary that we all study constantly backstage, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
I have to explain that we have to have that American College Dictionary because otherwise we would never understand the obfuscations and the circumlocutions of our distinguished panel moderator, John Charles Daly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to What's My Line. Once again tonight, in spite of some inclement spring rains, we've had some nice people come to visit us and bring with them some very interesting occupations. We think the panel will have a bit of trouble with the occupations. We want to find out about that as soon as possible. Somewhat later on, we'll have a famous guest challenger to test their talents tonight, too. But right now, let's have the experts meet our first challenger whose job has to be spotted. Will you sign in, please, sir? Paul Parker, right, sir? Where are you from, Mr. Parker?
Leavenworth, Kansas.
Leavenworth, Kansas. When did you get out? Oh, no, wait a minute. That's not correct. Nice to have you here. I'm sure that if you came this way voluntarily, I shouldn't ask questions like that. Well, there's some eminently respectable citizens over there. One or two of them should be around your hometown about now, but they never will be, so go up and say hello to them, will you?
That muscle real, Mr. Parker? Wow.
All right, let me see your hands, Mr. Parker. No, he hasn't been cutting any wires.
Hi.
Hello, Mr. Parker.
All right, Mr. Parker, if you'll come over here now, please, and sit down right next to me. We'll let the panel have the customary free guess as to what your line may be, and we always begin those free guesses with Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
I think he runs an insurance company.
An insurance company, Mr. Allen.
I think Mr. Parker makes fountain pens.
Miss Francis.
I think Mr. Parker runs an amusement park for the boys at Leavenworth.
Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Parker looks like a baseball magnet to me. I think he's the fellow that sold Enos Slaughter to the Yankees today.
No, I'm afraid not. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Parker. At the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. But the panel has to dig. All right, Mr. Parker, I think you're familiar with the scoring system. Every no answer you give the panel, I flip a card. We have 10 flips, and then you have won the game. All right, Mr. Parker is self-employed. With that, let's begin the general questioning with Arlene Francis.
Mr. Parker, does your work keep you out of doors?
Yes.
Do you work in something other than the clothes that you wear now?
Yes.
Would it be a coverall kind of uniform?
Could be.
Do you operate... Is it a large piece of machinery?
Relatively, I would say, yes.
Yes.
Do people ever watch you when you work?
Yes.
Would a foreman ever watch you? If you were working out of doors, would anybody be over you to watch you digging or pushing or pulling?
No.
No?
No, I think there the term of reference is So fundamental that we'll have to give you a no answer. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Parker, the connection between Leavenworth and the federal penitentiary is so obvious that I'm sure you have nothing to do with it. Am I correct in saying you have nothing whatever to do with the federal penitentiary?
That's correct.
Glad to get that out of the way. Now let's get down to the basic product of Kansas, which is wheat. Have you anything whatever to do with wheat?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is there anything that is amusing or entertaining about the work you do?
Yes.
Do the people who come to see you to be entertained when you're operating this machinery?
No.
No, they don't come to him for that purpose. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Allen.
Entertaining. Could you possibly have anything to do with a circus or a carnival or something of that sort?
As an individual? No.
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
You say people don't come particularly to watch you. Do they come to take part in something entertaining that you have to do with, even if they don't watch you? Do you operate something that is entertaining for people? Would entertain people wouldn't necessarily be to come to see him.
Well, there is a germ of an idea in your question, but when you got into the skating rink, you got a no answer. That's 5 down and 5
I
to
just
go.
said like a skating rink, John.
Could we have a conference, John?
You may have 15 seconds for a conference.
Did you understand, John, when he said that people don't come to see him as a
That's what I thought he meant.
No, he
person
might operate
or
some kind of a
operate-
concession.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. But John thought I meant a skating rink. He was very cruel.
All right.
All right, the consultation time is up, Mr. Cerf.
Well, Mr. Parker, would this thing that you're connected with possibly ever be seen in a fair or carnival?
Yes.
Would it have people operating some kind of a moving vehicle that people would watch, like midget automobiles or something of that sort?
What did you say?
Midget, you know, those stock
I
cars.
think that we don't want to mislead you, Bennett, but as you asked the question, I think we would have to give you a yes. The people who came would watch a vehicle of sorts, yes.
Has this vehicle got wheels?
No.
No wheels.
No wheels?
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is it anything that children would ride on?
Yes.
Could grown-ups ride on it too?
Yes.
Is it in either the Ferris wheel or merry-go-round department?
Yes.
Now I just have to decide whether it goes this way or that way. Well, all right. Is it a Ferris wheel?
No. 7 down. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Allen.
What was the other one you said?
Product. Now, what has Mr. Parker got to do with same?
Well, since I got a no on my question about carnivals and fairs.
Right. And Mr. Parker, you've done mighty well with prizes. No, we haven't had many people get this so far up with the panel, and congratulations, and I hope you make lots of fine merry-go-rounds, because we had a lot of fun visiting. I'm sure kids have. All right, panel, let's see what you can do with another challenger. Will you sign in, please, sir? Denver?
Colorado.
Denver Cathari. Is that right, sir? Very fine, firm, and bold hand, Mr. Cathari. Where are you from?
Mount Vernon, Ohio.
Mount Vernon,
Ohio.
Ohio. Well, that's fine. Would you please go and meet the panel briefly, because we have to give them a little bit of break here, huh?
Where's Mount Vernon, Ohio? What part of Ohio?
Right in the center.
Can I see your ring, please, Mr.
Pretty.
Beautiful. What is it?
Masonic, isn't it?
Iowa, too?
Ohio.
No label. I've never been so frustrated.
All right. Mr. Cathari, will you join me over here, please? And the panel will have its one free guess as to what your line may be, because you haven't got a label in your coat. And we'll begin the free guesses with Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
I think he's a novelist.
A novelist, Mr. Allen.
I think he's a wrestling coach.
Clever.
Very good. Mr. Cerf.
He has a drugstore. He's an apothecary.
Oh, no. No. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Mr. Catheri, and at the same time, we'll tell them what his line is. And, Mr. Catheri, I think you know how we do this. No answer, flip. 10 no's, you've got it. You all set? All right, Mr. Catheri is salaried. Let's begin the general questioning with Stephen Allen.
All right, Jonathan. Is there a product connected with your work, sir?
Yes.
Could it be used in the home?
Yes.
To ask a common question around these parts, is it the kind of thing that I might ever have used?
Yes.
That question often gets a laugh, and when it does, it's usually because, well, let me put it this way. Is this something that the housewife might use more often than her husband, say?
Yes.
Would you say that this thing is in more general use now than it was, say, 50 years ago or something like that?
Yes.
Wait a minute, conference.
Better make that 50,000. Just to be on the safe side.
This is the longest conference John has had with a man.
Mr. Cathari and I really earnestly consulted on this matter, Steve, and we don't want to mislead you, so we're going to give you a no. 1 down and 9 to go. They're not in more general use today, except to the extent that the population may increase, etc., which we don't think is necessarily germane to the basic issue that the question presents, you see? That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Benson.
There's that circumlocution you were talking about, Bennett. Is this product something that is useful?
Yes.
Would it be part of the furnishing of a house?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, might this product be used to brighten or clean up the house in any way?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Is this a useful product rather than a purely luxury product?
Yes.
Is it the goal of every American home to have one?
I would say that if Mr. Cathari agrees, to be perfectly fair, we could say it's a reasonable ambition in a good many American homes to have one.
Is this small enough to carry around from room to room?
Yes.
But you wouldn't necessarily.
Yes and no.
If you had one, would it often be in the same place?
If you had one, would it often be in the same place? I would think that in a good many instances it would, yes.
Well, does this have any locomotion at all involved?
I mean, of its own self, does it locomote?
Or
through
given
some...
a little shove or plugged in or anything?
No, it has no potential of locomotion of and by itself. No, that's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Allen.
Without this product, would the housewife have to go to a lot more fuss and bother to get her work done?
Yes. It would complicate things a bit.
Wow. Is this, speaking of animal, vegetable, and mineral differentiations, is this vegetable?
No.
That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it animal?
No.
Well,
That's
I've left
6 down.
you, Bennett.
6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, now we're down to mineral, right?
Yeah.
Is there any iron or steel in this thing?
Iron or steel? That's a very interesting question, isn't it? That
No.
makes it 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Oh, is there any precious metal in this?
Like
gold,
gold,
or
silver,
silver,
that sort
or
of thing.
platinum?
That's 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Allen.
Have we established whether this would have to be plugged in or anything of that sort?
50 years ago, you didn't plug anything in.
Are you asking if it has to be plugged in?
I don't know that I am, no. I'm just sitting here minding my own business, and you started asking all those questions. Does it have any, Now, let me take a whole new tack here. Could in any sense, this thing be worn?
Be warned.
Yeah.
That makes it 9 down and 1 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it liquid rather than solid?
Liquid rather than solid. That's a
No.
good one. That's 10 down and no more to go. And Mr. Cathari makes baby bottles.
Oh.
And
Does it have to be plugged in?
And Mr. Cathari, you win the full prize, and our thanks for having a wonderful few minutes for us on this show called What's My Life. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity. My colleagues on the panel have all put their blinders on, so to speak. Are they all in place, panel?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we dispense with all the preliminaries, get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Well, you sound very popular. Are you accustomed to appearing before audiences?
Yes.
A performer.
On occasion.
Well, are you primarily a performer rather than someone who works behind the scenes in show business?
You're doggone totin'.
Would you be considered an actor?
Yes.
Are you also a comedian?
Mm-hmm.
Do you appear on television?
Yeah.
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything besides act and be funny? Do you play any musical instrument or sing or dance?
Mr. Allen.
Have you ever appeared in motion pictures? I presume they were largely black and white rather than color. Am I correct?
Hmm?
They're largely in black and white rather than color. More than most of them in black and white.
Oh.
That's yes.
Oh, dear. Have we possibly seen a picture of yours around Broadway in the last 6 months?
Possibly.
Oh, dear. Are you over 30?
Yes.
I'll just go as far as 35. You over 35?
Huh?
Oh, man. Do you usually play leads in whatever productions you appear in?
No.
That makes it 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Then would you be considered a character actor?
Mm-hmm.
A good character, not a heavy?
Is a good character. 6 up.
Yes or a no?
That gives you a bit of both, so you can go on.
Are you primarily known for your motion picture performances rather than your theater performances?
Mm-hmm.
And you have been on television, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Are you on television regularly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
You have your own show?
Yes.
Are you a comedian on this particular show?
Yes.
Well. Is it on this network?
No.
3 down and
What are
7.
you doing on our show?
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you ever done your television work out on the coast, the Pacific coast? You have?
Yes.
Have you ever done it at the NBC studios out in Hollywood?
No.
You have not? I'll be darned.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen. I thought Bennett had it for a minute.
Have you ever been in burlesque?
No.
5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Allen.
Oh, dear.
Not such a strange.
Would you say that you are one of the top 10 comedians? I'll have to ask John, I guess, to answer that question. Probably embarrassing for our guest. Strike the whole question. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Well, I will say this, Steve, that our guest is a man of very great reputation in the field of comedy because of his work in the movies and on television.
Do you work with a part?
And 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you a blonde?
Yes.
What do you know? Are you Marilyn Monroe?
Strike the question.
If this is Vaughn Monroe again, I quit, I'll tell you that.
Do you have some particular facial characteristics that are humorous? I mean, instead of your being a handsome comedian, would you be more, you know, sort of...
Yes.
Are you slender rather than heavy?
No.
That's 7
you're
down and
heavy.
3 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you ever used a dialect in the work that you do?
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
In the show that you do on television, is there a plot?
Yes.
There is a story.
Yes.
Could we have a conference?
You may have 10 seconds for a conference.
I don't get a chance to see much of these shows with
Well,
stories. What are stories?
Maybe it comes
Bob
from Thomas
Cummings
Brennan's.
does a story.
Well, he's not fat.
Phil Bendix does a story.
All right.
Oh, he doesn't sound
I
like Bill
pass,
Bendix.
Steve. It's
Steve
his
Allen.
responsibility.
All right, I'll use Arlene's guesses as Bill Bendix.
Yes!
And that's what I do,
Let's see what we can do with another challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please, ma'am? We have a little less than 3 minutes, panel, so look at our challenger very carefully. You won't have a chance to greet her in person. Dolores Lee, is that right? Where will you from? You come with me, if you will, Miss Lee. Sit you down right here. Panel's had a chance to get a quick look at you and hear your voice. We'll begin the free guesses with Miss
I
Kilgallen.
think she's a babysitter.
A babysitter, Mr. Allen.
I think she plays softball.
Miss Francis.
No, I think she works in a nylon factory.
Mr. Cerf.
And she's a mosquito exterminator.
Well, there was an interesting answer, but nobody had it right. We'll let our viewers have a further look at Miss Dolores Lee, and at the same time, we'll tell them what her line is. All right, Miss Lee. You know what the rules are, how we keep score. You all set? All right, Miss Lee is salaried. We'll begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss Lee, you look like a very well-proportioned, healthy girl.
Thank you.
You to asking you if you do any work that requires physical dexterity of any sort.
Yes,
You do. Would this work be done outdoors?
yes,
Would it have anything to do with sport?
yes,
You are engaged in some sport?
yes.
Is it a team activity that you're engaged in? Would it be a sport that is just about coming into season now? Baseball?
Yes.
Well, now, somebody guessed softball, but we got to know on that.
Harden it up a
Maybe
little
it's
bit.
hardball.
Is it a form of baseball that does not use a softball by any chance?
Yes,
Is it regular baseball?
yes.
Now,
Yogi
all you got
Berra.
to do is to tell us what Miss Lee does.
Are you? Do you actively participate in the game?
Yes.
Would you get up a minute? Let me look at your bill. Are you right-handed? Well, well, I'll start at the beginning. Are you a pitcher?
Yes.
Yes! Very good indeed, I must say.
An umpire.
He reminds you of an umpire. Bennett, you've just had the unkindest cut off. Miss Lee, we can't
You
have you
look like
come
Eddie
and-
Lopat.
Even if Bennett's good, we got to flip some cards so that you win something. Because they just that softball thing, I think, was a little lucky guess. But thanks for being our guest. It was fun to see the panel work so hard. And now, until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Dorothy.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Dorothy. Incidentally, your story's in Screen Land magazine. I want to point that out on our Screen Guide. Good night, boys, and good night, Arlene.
Say good night. Good night, Bennett.
I want you to know Arlene's quite a pitcher, too. I won't tell you what she pitches. Good night, John.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being with us on What's My Line?
This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Cosby production.